It's Peach Puke / Lily, whatever you want to call me. Today, I'm going to be doing a video on 26 things I've learned in 26 years. I recently just had my 26th birthday. I'm a Gemini. I consider my whole summer my birthday because I'm Gemini Sun, Cancer Rising, Leo Moon. And so they all go in order. So I consider the whole summer my birthday. So even though this is kind of late, it's already Cancer season, I still want to put this video out. I hope you guys are all having a great summer. Happy summer solstice, if you celebrate. And I hope that this helps anyone that's watching, no matter how old you are, if you're my age, if you're younger. These are things that I think I would have liked to know when I was younger, and I think they would have really helped me, but I guess it took me this long. Everyone learns things in their own time. So yeah, let's get started. And just a disclaimer, these are things that I'm very introspective, and I know exactly what I need to do in my life to succeed and be happy and healthy. It's just a matter of if I have the willpower to do them myself. So that's just my disclaimer. Number 1, put yourself first. There is a saying, they call it the airplane theory, I believe. And so when you're getting on the airplane and you're getting ready for takeoff, on the speaker, they say to put in the event of an emergency, to put your air mask on before your partner's, your children's. And so this is a metaphor for life and helping other people. If you can't help yourself, you can't help anyone else. No matter if you're a parent, which a lot of you know or either don't know that I am. I have a daughter. I don't really post her publicly on Peach Puke because I think that that's inappropriate, but that's my own opinion. But you can't help other people unless you help yourself first. Because if you're running yourself into the ground and you're trying to help other people, or if you're hurting yourself, if you pass away and you just leave everyone that you love, that you wanted to help, you never helped them. So you have to put yourself first. Number 2, choose the right path, not the easy path. To me, this really relates to careers and relationships. So if you hate your job, you might want to start looking for a new one. I can't say that I've quite figured that out yet, but I recently quit a job that I hate, and I'm honestly in between jobs. I'm not going to lie. But I quit a job that was hurting my mind, my body, and my soul, and I feel so much better. And I think that that is very important. Relationships as well. I really don't like to hurt people, and sometimes I think it's easy to stay in a relationship longer than you should because, you know, there's various reasons to stay in a relationship even when you feel like leaving. I think that a lot of people do this, and, you know, that's choosing the easy path, not the right path. Just like the job thing. If you hate your job, continuing to work there is the easy path, not the right path. Number 3, don't ever put all your eggs in one basket. Everything is always constantly changing. The only constant in life is change. So be a jack of all trades. Have backup jobs that you can do if your job, say your company closes, and what do you have? You have nothing. So develop more skills. Also, be strong in yourself. This also, I'm going to tie this back to relationships. Relationships and career have a lot to do in your life. So don't think that you need someone. You should not need someone. I don't believe in a missing puzzle piece. I believe that you should be a beautiful piece of art and your partner should be a beautiful piece of art. And y'all should be hanging on the wall next to each other, because in an art gallery, you two are the only pieces that make sense next to each other. But you have no missing puzzle piece, and you are still your own beautiful piece of art. And you have to remember that even if you lose a partner or a friend, you're still you, and you need to remember that you are whole in yourself without another person. The next one is finding a balance between giving a fuck and not giving a fuck. So, I think that things that you should not give a fuck about are, you shouldn't give a fuck about what people think. Be yourself. Be unapologetically yourself always. Bottom line, always be unapologetically yourself. And this is something that I always, think back to high school, because people were really mean to me in high school. And I think back now and I'm like, if I could even go back there for a split second, I would tell them to get fucked and go fuck themselves. Off top. So I think you should definitely don't give a fuck about what people think. Be your own person, be an individual, and you'll find your tribe, or you'll at least find a person that you really connect with that just appreciates you just the way you are. And you should appreciate yourself just the way you are. So as far as giving a fuck, you should give a fuck about your life. You can't just let your house get messy, all that stuff. I mean, I let my house get messy. I'm not gonna lie, but it makes me feel like crap. You have to give a fuck about, your belongings, your body, your things. Your body is your vessel. You can't run it into the ground. So you need to give a fuck about your health. Everyone has a different family situation. For me personally, I need to give a fuck about my family. I have a daughter. I'm really close with my mother and my grandmother, and I need to give a fuck about my family at all costs because they mean so much to me. And sadly to say, your family's not going to be there forever. So there's, and your pets too. Your pets can be your family, even if you're not close with your mom or your dad. I'm not close with my dad. Dad, if you're watching this, I'm not even calling you dad. Fuck you. But yeah, that's as far as I'm gonna go with that one. And this one is, this is a one-liner. Do not drive under the influence. Number 6, learn how to recognize red flags. I have had a problem with this on and off throughout my life, and I think that I've finally learned now how to recognize red flags. And I think I know that you should analyze the way that your new partner, new fling, your new situationship talks about other people, treats other people, talks about their ex-girlfriends or boyfriends. If someone's calling their ex-girlfriend really ugly, saying nasty things about them, think about what they would say about you. this is a huge thing that I learned with someone who was really horrible to me. And I just think that that's a reflection of themselves and not of their last partner. I would also say that when you're out and about, if you're out at a restaurant, look at how that person treats people in the service industry and all of that. If they're rude to them, that's a red flag. That's totally a red flag. So I would say watch out for narcissists, people that tell fake stories, pathological liars, that you can tell that they're just inflating their ego, telling all these stories about how cool their life has been, and you can tell that it's not real. That's a huge red flag. Because I've always said that if someone is willing to lie about something so small, then what else are they going to lie about? Okay, so my next one is managing stress. I think that stress is probably a bigger killer than cigarettes. Do not run yourself into the ground. The thing is that your whole entire life, things are going to come up. No matter how rich you are, how much money you have, if you have the perfect, most loving, beautiful, patient partner, things are always going to come up. There's always going to be death. Your friends, your family, your pets. There's always going to be devastation. There's always going to be financial issues that you have to figure out. There's always going to be things that you don't want to do. But if you let it hurt you and get the best of you, I always think of that Sublime song where he says, I don't get angry at the bills I have to pay, which I get very angry at the bills I have to pay. But really, managing stress is such an important thing because it's kind of a constant in your life, unfortunately. Next one, drop destinational happiness / the curse of more, which is what my best friend calls it, is when you reach a goal. So you set a goal and then you're not really happy when you set that goal because you're like, okay, I reached this, so I can do this. And so it's like always about leveling up. Learn to enjoy the moment. And like I said at the beginning, as my disclaimer, that I am still trying to do these things myself. I just know that these are the things you have to do. But destinational happiness will screw you over for sure. So you need to learn to enjoy the moment and where you're at currently. And you'll look back if you are always looking at the next thing. If you're always trying to be the big dog, if you're always trying to be the richest, the prettiest, the hottest, whatever, you'll look back and you'll realize, you know what? I miss those old days. Even if you achieve that, you'll miss those old days when you were quote unquote nothing, but at the same time, you were everything. Next one is chase your dreams when you're young. This is something that someone 10 years older than me, a really close friend of mine, told me. She said, Lily, chase your dreams while you're young and you still have the drive to do it. So if you're in your 20s, I encourage you to have fun, but also remember that this is when you have that energy, that drive to chase your dreams. Next one is closing the door on your old life. I believe that some of these things I snagged from other people, some of them are my own. I snagged this from Lana Del Rey, I believe, is closing the door on your old life. When you want to move on, so like I was talking about my job that I don't like earlier, or say about a year ago. So a year ago, I was still seeing this guy that I was previously in a relationship, and we continued to see each other after we broke up. And so I couldn't really close the door on my old life. I spent so long working at a job that I hated. It made me feel awful. And so I closed the door on him. I closed the door on that job, and I'm working things out. You always have to put the pieces back together, but maybe not about the guy. I don't miss him. But yeah, so that's a big one. This is another stolen one that I took from Ethel Kane's advice slash her little YouTube. We love that. Ethel Kane, Hayden, shouts out. She said, help the people close to you. Because there is so much evil in our world right now, and I personally, especially when I'm on my period, cry about endangered species, homelessness, everything. When I go downtown and I'm on my period, or even anytime and I see the homelessness, it makes me so sad. But the truth is that you can't help everyone at once. So try and help the people that are closest to you. I really believe when Ethel Kane said that on her YouTube, that if you try and, just help your community and the people in your circle, at least you're helping someone. And I do truly believe in that. Not that the whole world doesn't need help. There's so much just sadness and awful things that happen in the world, but it can overwhelm you if you try and process that all at once. So I really felt it when Hayden said that you should try and help those that are close to you, that are like in your reach. So it's not like the people that aren't in your reach don't matter, but if they're in your reach, you can help them easier if you can, more easily, to be grammatically correct. You are your own God. So a lot of people don't know about my spirituality or whatever. I believe in a lot of different philosophies and stuff like that, esotericism, and just I am a magical practitioner. So one of the philosophers that I follow believes that you're your own God. So really, make your shit happen. No one else is gonna make it happen for you. And I believe in a lot of things. I don't necessarily believe that I'm God. This is not supposed to be a narcissistic statement. This is supposed to be a affirmative statement towards yourself, because you are in control of your mind, your life. You are in control. And I think that in this day and age, it's easy to feel like you aren't. So I believe that I'm my own God. I believe in a higher power. I believe in multiple higher powers, but you are the one that makes things happen for yourself. So go out there, do it. The next one is try to remember what your dream job and your fantasy life was when you were a kid. And that really, really helped me this year. It actually profoundly changed my life, because I realized what my dream job is. And I realized what my goal in this lifetime is and what I want to do, because I felt really lost. But then, I did remember what my goal was when I was in high school, and I looked back and I was like, I still really want to do that. And so even if it's been slowly, I have been working towards that. So remember what you love, not what makes the most money. Remember what you love. Remember what your inner child wants and has always wanted. Okay. Learn to keep your mouth shut and don't talk over other people. Just don't talk over other people. It's rude. I hate it. Don't talk over other people. Next, try to have manners. Please don't chew with your mouth open. Next, this is one that I actually really like because I think that this is one of the more comical ones that I've learned in my lifetime. Don't get scammed while visiting New Orleans, the French Quarter, LA, or Las Vegas. So in New Orleans, they'll try and scam you with shots a lot, like shots of alcohol, like these tubes of shots. This hot woman came up to me and there was the tube of shot. She put it in her mouth and she grabbed me, poured it in my mouth, told me I owed her $80. Las Vegas, they get you with the pictures. The hot showgirls, don't take pictures with them unless you're ready to pay money. And LA, don't buy anyone's mixtape, please. They'll hand it to you acting like it's free. They do this everywhere. They act like it's free. It's not free. The shots, the mixtapes, the photos with the hot girls, don't buy it. Okay. Art and beauty are subjective. If one person calls you ugly, the next person is going to think you are the most beautiful person in the world. Whoever's trash is someone else's treasure. And same with art. I'm an artist. Some people probably think my art sucks. But if I let that hold me back, then I'm not doing what I love. So if I let one person that says my art sucks, or some person that, insults me, whatever. Educate yourself. Vocabulary, reading, everything. Learn how to talk. Learn words that make you sound smart. This is kind of I think that a lot of you will take this as silly or whatever, but learn how to sound educated, using stupid slang, which I am a victim of sometimes. I'm not going to say that I don't use stupid slang. I think that I actually said something stupid like that earlier in this video. But I go through my books when I'm reading and I highlight words that I love so that I can implement them into my vocabulary. It could always be worse. There's people that don't have clean drinking water. It could always be worse. Stop bitching about your life. You can always be better. And I mean that in every single way. Please go to therapy. Everyone needs therapy. Some people need medication. Not everyone does. I'm not pushing that on anybody. I think that I don't think that necessarily materialistic things matter a whole lot, or your physical appearance, but the way of showing up for yourself, like you get a new haircut, you dye your hair, you do your makeup different, you get a new dress, just it makes you feel better. And really, if you're dressed in something totally decrepit, you know, you could be at the grocery store. I go to the grocery store totally decrepit because I don't think that I'm going to meet the love of my life there, but you might. So maybe, yeah, I guess try not to look decrepit. Do not let anyone disrespect you. Ever. Never let anyone disrespect you. And for me, I stand up for my people when they are disrespected. For example, my best friend, there was someone that was in his house that was somebody that we weren't really friends with that our friend brought over. And he said something shitty to me, and he said something to my friend, and he said, I'm gonna make you want to leave your own house. And not everyone is ready to stand up for themselves. And so I said, are you really gonna tell my friend that you're gonna make them want to leave their own house? Really? And you're gonna say this stuff to me? I was like, get out. And they apologized, and then they stayed for a little bit longer, and then they got out. So never let anyone disrespect you. Emotional vampires. People can take from you not just financially. People can take from you in a lot of ways, and people can take from you emotionally. Empathetic burnout is a real thing. So there's only so much that you can do. Recently, I was in a relationship where, well, the individual that I was with constantly needed reassurance, and no matter how much I would reassure them, it didn't make any difference, because at the end of the day, they didn't feel good about themselves. They didn't feel happy with who they are, and so they were looking to me to feel better. And at the end of the day, it made me really anxious. It made me feel so stressed out and horrible, because this person was really trying to lean on me emotionally because they don't have the peace that they need. So that's what I'm saying, is you have to put yourself first before you can give to anyone else, which is one of the first things that I said in this video. And last but not least, this is a Gucci Mane quote. This is a fun one. Okay. Don't get lost in the sauce. I forget exactly what Gucci says in this quote. It was a meme back in the day. It was a meme back in the day. I am sad that the younger generation will never know about old school Gucci Mane. So I'm trying to pull up the Lost in the Sauce Gucci Mane. A man can get lost in the sauce, but the same man can be lost without the sauce. Basically, Gucci's talking about moderation and balance, because as my best friend always says, life's about balance. They're also a Libra, so it makes sense that that's their life motto. Don't get lost in the sauce. If you don't know what that means, just be moderate. Keep your vices to a minimum. Vices don't have to be drugs or alcohol. They can be sex. They can be food. They can be drugs or alcohol. Anything can be a vice. If you've ever watched My Strange Addiction, you would know that anything can be a vice. So that is 26 things that I have learned in my 26 years of living. Signing off. Goodbye. Love you. See you later.